Hashtag.
Squad goals.
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 Hashtag.
Hopscotch.
Hopscotch.
Yo. This is.
Yo.
Y'all lame. This is Squad Goals, the podcast. Matter of fact, Hashtag. What did you just say?
I don't know what I said. I don't know what
This is hashtag Squad Goals, the podcast. This is the spot you come to get inspiration and the tools you need to make your entrepreneurial dreams
come true.
I'm your host, Kitt.
I'm your host, TaKenya.
And I'm your host, Leash.
And this is
Hashtag Squad Goals.
So, what are we getting into today, TaKenya?
All right. So what are we getting into today? We're talking about our biggest distractions that can derail you from what you do best.
Oh, man.
Yep.
Because I can tend to get distracted.
Yes.
We all can.
We all can, and that's why we are here listening. That's why we're here together, because we're going to help each other out.
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Team.
I mean,
Squad goals.
Squad goals. We're going to help each other out. So, what are your biggest distractions? We're going to make this a little personal today. Each one of us is going to talk about one or two things that is a big distraction for us, and then we're going to talk about a couple things that help us get around that and get through that. This podcast being one of those things, the support system.
Yes.
So, Aleicha, we're going to start with you.
Yeah. Well, first we want to take a moment to thank our sponsors, the Content House, located in South Holland, Illinois. A really dope spot where you can get your photo, video, podcast, and so much more done.
So much more. It's the Content House. It's a multimedia production facility, your content army to fuel your brand and have customers begging for more. They'll just follow you. You just engage with them. They'll follow you.
So join the content revolution and discover the easiest way to create consistent content that converts.
Man,
All right.
The Content House, it sounds like a place that I could just dwell.
Yes.
Dwell.
Yeah, sounds like where I want to be. Thank you to our one and only sponsor,
The Content House.
the Content House.
Whoop, whoop.
All right,
All
Alicia,
right.
what are some of those things? What are some of those distractions for you? Let's
For-
make it personal.
For me, I am a classic overachiever. So
She said it like it was a
I would
bad
have
thing.
To say it can be. It could be a distraction.
Yeah.
It can be a distraction to try to do everything. Can be a distraction.
Okay.
And so the biggest challenge for me is time.
Time.
Never feel like I have enough.
Okay.
Never feel like no matter what I do that I've optimized the time that I have.
Okay.
So for me, it's time.
Whoa. And so what do you do? I would guess that you're saying with all that you want to overachieve
Right.
in or with,
Right.
do you get scrambled? Does like the
Yeah.
time get scrambled?
Yeah.
Or
Absolutely.
or
It's
you
like
get obsessive on some stuff?
definitely get obsessive, but the time getting scrambled because your mind tells you that it's like you walk in a messy room and then you walk out because you like, forget it. I'm not even going to attempt. I know I don't have enough time. It's too much. So I'm going to walk out of the room and just pretend it's not there.
That is. I wouldn't have thought about it like that.
It's overwhelm.
A little bit overwhelming, yeah.
So how many of you out there sometimes feel overwhelmed due to time that, like you said, Alicia said, you just walk in the room and you're like,
Let's close it
it's
up.
too much.
Forget it.
It's too much, forget it.
Yeah, that's like, and then I don't want to say just especially for women, but, you know, we always wish that there were more hours in the day.
Yes.
Because like Alicia said, sometimes we're overachievers and we want to just get it all in and do everything and anything. And there's just not enough time for that. And so, yeah. Yeah.
That time piece.
That time.
That time. I mean, for me, time, I always move like time, like I control time.
You could, oh,
Like time just
With this mind.
With my mind, I just like I could bend a clock. So I would think that I just need a little more hurry up. Like your dad
Yes, he
says,
does.
take your time, but hurry up. So for me, it's just like keeping, as far as time is related, is keeping on track. I mean, of course, I got a whole bunch of stuff to do.
Right.
And it's not keeping on track with like everything.
Yeah.
It's just keeping on track with that thing.
goal. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's, if we talk about what has helped me with that, it's really what you just said. And it's looking at your day and saying, not what are these 2,000 things I need to do by the end of this week, but what is that one thing that if I do today, then I had the best productive day.
Yeah.
This is the one thing that I need to make sure I do. So if I go to sleep and that one thing is done, and then to take it even further, go to sleep after that one thing is done.
Yeah.
And forget about the other 20 things. Because you said that one thing was all you need to do to make your day the best. So then you create overwhelm because you say, oh, I'm done with that one thing. Well, let me grab number 2. So now you're creating that overwhelm again. And now you're in that overwhelming state again, and now you're ready to close the door again.
Oh. I can
Just
see.
keep putting too much on your plate.
Putting too much.
Putting too much on your plate. I get that.
Eat one thing at a time and then force yourself to shut down once that main thing you said you need to get done is done.
Yeah. That's perfect. Anybody that's out there that feels overwhelmed, definitely listen to what Aleicha is saying, because that's huge. That's huge. Like, I could see that would immediately kind of give you some relief.
Absolutely. I mean, a sense of accomplishment, which is all you're searching for in the first place. And that's why you're an overachiever, because it's that sense of accomplishment. And it's not checking off the 5,000 things off your list. It's knowing that one thing that I set out to do, I did it and I completed it.
Yeah.
And making that one thing a bite-sized thing. So don't take your high achieving and say, well, I'm going to write a whole chapter in one day. You know you're not going to do that. So then you're going to disappoint yourself. So really, I'm going to write 2 pages today.
Right.
Something you can do that you know you can do. Even if 8 to 8 gets eaten up by your kids and your job and all that, and all you have left to do something in is in the morning when you wake up. It has to be something you can accomplish literally in 2 hours.
I thought you were going to say at first, like your big 3 thing.
Yeah, I do my big 3, but those big 3, even those, I've narrowed down to what's that number 1. Like, I try to get to my 3, but I narrow down to what is that one thing. And that's when you really have conquered the time master, is when you can narrow it down to that one thing. Like, the high achievers start with 3, because we still high achievers and 1's not going to be enough. So start with 3, but eventually try to get to 2 and then to 1.
Which brings me over to mine. Segue. So for me, it is, I used to be like a firm believer, if I just do one thing, that if I just do one thing a day that's towards the goal, I used to feel like, okay, cool, I'm good. I did one thing, no matter how small it was. But when I started to put priority on what that thing was, not just anything, but that one thing.
Yeah.
It was when I started to prioritize, okay, now out of all the things I could do, what's the one thing that's the most effective?
Yes.
And then I get that done that day. And it's like, great job, Kitt. Yeah. Great job.
And then take it even further, your highest level of cognitive attention is in the morning. Yeah. So if you take that one thing and say, before I do anything, I may grab a glass of water, a cup of coffee, but before I do anything, I'm going to get this one thing done. And say all hell breaks loose the rest of the day. You got your one thing done already. So now you don't feel as annoyed when mama calls you and wants to tell you her 2-hour story about, grandma or your sister. Like, now you don't be like, oh my God, mom, I'm still trying to do my one thing. it's out of the way, and you're able to put your best concentration on it, which makes it even better.
Yeah. Yeah, it's prioritizing that for me. It's just, and I wasn't, here's the thing. I wasn't even aware what it was. I wasn't even thinking and I wasn't even in the ballpark. I was just like, just do something else.
Yeah.
Just do something else. The moment I started to think and to write down what that most effective thing was, it was just like, it made my whole day. I felt like accomplished.
Yeah.
I felt like I was anticipating tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because when you don't, you feel like a failure.
And then you don't get good sleep.
Yeah.
And then your
that is
tomorrow
so
is
true.
horrible.
Yeah, that is so true. When you don't accomplish that one thing that you had in your heart to do, you go to sleep and you're dreaming about it. You thinking about it, you pondering over it, and then you're not getting rest and you're not taking care of yourself in that way. So it's important to handle that distraction, that thing early in the morning so that you won't be distracted.
Yeah.
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 And early in the morning is TaKenya's
That's my time.
way of
yes.
handling.
In the morning for me, I try to make, like Aleicha said, your brain is at its optimal level in the morning for me. And so that's when it's time to take care of those goals.
Person at all.
But whatever your optimal time is.
Because guess what? It's different for everybody else.
is.
My optimal times are from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. Now, I guess that is morning, but guess what? It is when everybody else is asleep.
But as I've been going to bed earlier, he's been going to bed earlier.
No, man.
He's not going to admit it, but I'm telling you.
His was going to get edited out of this whole podcast.
Oh my goodness.
Putting baby to bed.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, right.
He does.
Can't get me.
But it helps. It helps to have that, to share, not only set those priorities for yourself, but then share those priorities with somebody that can help you accomplish them.
That's true.
Like somebody that knows what you're looking to do.
Accountability is key. Letting people know your goals. People, and not just people, somebody that is actually going to build you up and not tear you down and it not talk behind your back, because that'll ruin your whole plan too.
Yeah, it will.
You'll be like, why did I say this to this person? Why did I say that at all? And make sure you're talking to the right people. So guess what? If you're in the comments, if you want to shoot us an email, it's the contenthouseShy@gmail. Let us know what you're trying to accomplish. We can maybe help you out with that.
Yes.
If it's crazy, I'm not going to answer the email.
Probably not going to answer. We have a special circular file for crazy people.
So don't throw the crazy at me. But seriously though, if you're serious about those goals, if you're serious about accomplishing stuff and achieving stuff, and you got the big one or the big three that you're working on, let us know. Let us know. Yeah. I just shouted out Wave Pool on the Squad Goals podcast.
Are you giving yourself a shameless plug? Like shameless. It should be more shameful.
But I also want y'all to listen to Vox Spa. I want y'all to listen to
Vocal Spa.
Ready, Set, Start.
Ready, Set, Start.
Woo, woo.
So I ain't gonna just shameless plug my
It's the
stuff.
vocal spa.
It's the vocal spa.
Vocal Spa. I call it Vox Spa.
Get your voice right.
But yeah, you start to link
Your
up
daily
with
dose.
people who have like minds and who have similar work ethics.
Yes.
Yes.
And then you create and build something that's great.
Yeah.
So this is what we want you to do.
Accountability.
We want to be you guys' accountability partners.
Yes.
Like we said, we ain't for the
Yay.
crazy. Don't email me on nothing
Don't
crazy.
email
Please
me that you
don't.
won't
Please
dress
don't.
up like a
But guess
baby.
what? If you feel like
Now I might talk to the crazy person. Let you know
Please
you
don't.
crazy.
Just know we'll make sure her
Let you
name
know
is
you
at the bottom
crazy.
of your
cray.
email so you can know.
great.
Cray to cray cray.
But this is what we
You
want
might
to do.
need some more of this.
In the comments, we want you to write down what are some things that distract you as far as time is concerned, and what are you going to do now that you have listened
Yes.
to the podcast to kind of counteract those things, to
Yes.
right the course, to right the ship, in order for you to get going.
Yes. And then make sure that one of those goals for you is to listen to this podcast every Wednesday to get your motivation for the week to come.
Yeah.
And apply the things you learn.
You can do it while you're sitting on the toilet.
You can do it anywhere.
That's where he likes to do his
You
podcast
could do-
listening.
Do it on the bike.
You can do it on the
Do
bike.
it in the park.
You can do it in the
at the
car
door.
while you're driving.
Oh, yeah.
Driving.
Guess what?
All right.
This has been
Squad Goals.
Yes, join us next time and we will continue to provide more of the stuff you need to motivate you on your entrepreneurial endeavors.
Till next time, I'm Kitt.
I'm TaKenya.
And I'm Aleicha.
She's a
I'm
TaKenya. She's
I'm
a
a
TaKenya.
TaKenya.
She's
Yes,
not
I
the
am.
TaKenya. She's just one of.
I am a
The
TaKenya.
only.
She's
One of very few.
one of the TaKenya.
Peace out, y'all.